This is the Aftermarket Radio Network.
Hey, it's Carm Capriato back at MAX, the Mobile Air Climate Systems Conference. It's the 45th year, end of January, early February. We're in Orlando. I'm with my friend, Donny Seyfer from NASTF. We've got a fun episode here. I just want to mention that, Donnie's with NASTF, and thank you very much for sponsoring us here. I am thrilled. I don't know if the world knows enough about NASTF, all the service information, the connection between the OE and the independents, and all the service information and the vehicle service professional. I mean, guys, you guys are on fire.
Well, and there's a lot of information out there that isn't actually what we do, right? There's information out there from folks that have never even bothered to read, but they just kind of make it up as they go along.
Yeah.
So always happy to have an opportunity to, sort of clear those things up and chat about what this organization actually does.
Well, great. Hey, also Honeywell and Cora were also sponsors of ours to be here. So we want to thank Honeywell and Cora and, of course, NASTF. We're going to do this really interesting episode, but first, just a quick word from our sponsors.
NAPA is focused on the now, a national ownership workshop for our valued auto care members centered around business building training from industry leaders. This is a can't-miss event as we celebrate the past 100 years while looking ahead to the next 100. Hey, let's face it, your shop management system is the most critical tool in your shop, and NAPA Tracks will move your shop into the SMS fast lane with on-site training, 6 days a week support, and local representation. Find NAPA Tracks on the web at napatracs.com. Also, thanks to AftermarketManagementNetwork.com for information that can help you move your business ahead, and for the free and informative LaborRateTracker.com.
You and I are going to do this kind of thing, I think, tomorrow at lunch for the world to get to know Donny Seyfer and NASTF in a different way. We have a lot of very interesting people here that probably need to know more about NASTF. But I also think there's an awful lot of people that need to know a whole lot about you. I think about this all the time. What would Carm have done when I first started podcasting in 2015 compared to where I am today? Mm-hmm. Don't go back and listen to my first episodes, because I would, probably shiver to hear what I was trying to do. But then I see the evolution. I often thought, what would I say to myself from 10 years ago? Did you ever think about that?
Oh, definitely. Because if I had projected what it was I was going to do in the last 20 years, this is not what I would have expected I would be doing.
Yeah. What would you be doing?
Well, I'd probably still be running a repair shop.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a diagnostician for 27 years.
Yeah, and a trainer.
Yeah, and a trainer.
And a president of an association.
Yeah.
And a family man.
And that.
Family business.
All those things.
Things.
I would not have expected that I would have had this role. In fact, this role very literally fell in my lap.
If you said, what's your best memory of Donny Seyfer? Would you ask me that? What's my best memory of you? Ask me that.
What is your best memory of me?
Wheat Ridge High School.
What did we do at Wheat Ridge? Oh, when you met the STEM kids.
Yes.
That was awesome.
Donnie, I'm going to guess it was 6 or 7 years ago at Apex. Donnie, you called me, you emailed me, and you said, look it, the STEM class from Wheat Ridge High School, and they're doing the Shell
Eco Marathon.
Thank you.
That's right.
And there's like 10 kids. Carm, would you interview them? And I'm thinking, I got this little 10 by 10 box, 4 microphones, and 10 kids. And I immediately said yes. Donnie, that was one of the most emotional moments that I had by the end of it, to see these young students so engaged in every level, the marketing people, the tech people, the kids. And I got to go back and listen to that, because it was not only so much fun, and I would love to know what those young people are doing today, because I think they were on a trajectory. So that when I think of Donny Seyfer, I think of Wheat Ridge High School.
Well, that program has been so impactful on so many kids at all different levels, from people who are either now or will be repair specialists to people who went to college, they're now engineers, and they're working in some field around, the car thing.
And the whole thing was they had to build a vehicle that ran on solar, that won was it a time lap thing? I can't remember.
So they had multiple things they could do, but for Eco Marathon, they built a vehicle that had a fuel cell. So they were competing in the fuel cell components, and basically they became an auto manufacturer. They had to design the vehicle. They had to build the vehicle, every single component, if at all possible.
Yeah, they had to go to the machine shops and make stuff.
Yeah. And then they also had to market their product. They had to get sponsors where they needed them. They had to get mentors and experts to come in and help them. Yeah. And the instructor was just brilliant, Chuck Sprague, at just helping them to just do it. He didn't get involved. He had this sort of laissez-faire, well, if you don't do it, you're going to fail. And it worked.
So I appreciate that. And I think it helped solidify the things that we could do as podcasters, even though we weren't even doing video back then. And it was great. Where do you get your big ideas?
This is just how I'm built. Our team started using this concept of, that there's a visionary in our team, and there's the folks that just make things happen. And then there's the person who keeps the visionary in line, which primarily falls to Holly. That's just how I've always been. I just look at a problem and I come up with a solution, and, I rattle it around in my head for a while and do all that's not going to work because of this. And
so you're pre-qualifying yourself before you share it with anyone?
Absolutely.
Okay. Which is good. Run it by yourself 10 different ways. See where it can break.
Yeah. Well, and I have this thing that I don't like to work with committees, because when you design by committee, nothing ever gets done.
Nothing ever gets done.
So I like to take a gelled idea and let them beat up on that instead.
Got it. You find them improving it for you?
Absolutely.
See?
Yeah.
And so you're not afraid to say that you're the shell answer man, as an example, that you have to be the all-knowing, all-seeing Oz. You just want to say, listen, I got this great idea. What can we do with it?
Yep. And I just say, here, it's fleshed out as far as I feel I can take it. And you're my experts. You're my mentors. You help me finish this out. Yeah. And sometimes even say, that's a great idea, but it's got no chance. Next.
So share with us, maybe from the last couple of months, a great idea that has seen the light of day.
Okay, so I'll give you one. We have a new product coming out where our members will be able to opt in to be able to do secure vehicle gateway validations with Hyundai, Kia, and Genesis. Now, this sounds like it wouldn't be all that hard, but there are so many moving pieces to this, because we've got the automaker involved, which really is 3 automakers, because in the United States, there are 3 different automakers. Made more complex by the fact that in Korea, there's 1 automaker feeding these 3 their stuff. And so you've got all these different people on that end to get worked out. You've got the cybersecurity aspects of it to work out. NASTF built the software literally 2.5 years ago, and we've just been waiting for everybody else to catch up with us. We started talking to them in 2019 about doing this. And this is how long it takes to get it to that point. That's really part of when I developed the whole, I'm going to have an idea already fleshed out. Because the automakers ask you questions that you're like, wow, I wouldn't have thought they'd ask that question, right? They're like, well, how are we going to do this? And you're like, I would have thought that you would know that. But let me tell you how other automakers do it. So I do that a lot. I tell automakers, so, others are doing it like this. Maybe that's something that would work for you. Or, we have had this idea that you guys could do it like that. Very time consuming.
You're the suggester.
Yes. Well, the connector on ideas, because we see sort of all the different automakers' practices. So we're working with Rivian right now, and they literally said, tell us how we should do it. You guys talk to all these automakers. Tell us how we should do it. Yeah. And so that's
shorten the curve, baby.
Well, and they can implement technology that we've already created and just leverage what's already there. So it makes it faster, cheaper, better.
So you seem like this eternal optimist. You don't see roadblocks, do you?
No.
You see them as opportunities?
Yeah. That's, in fact, one of my friends that works for the Automaker Association. When we sat down with them this summer to talk about some problems we've had with a few brands, it's like, well, this guy is the eternal optimist. And I'd never heard anybody ever say that about me before. No. Because I'm always like, oh, there's a problem I got to fix. Damn it. But yeah, I hadn't thought about it.
Gruff Donnie.
Yeah.
I know.
Why do these things just work the way I want them to work?
Are you afraid of anything?
I guess my biggest fear is not finishing what I've started. Oh. We've all got expiration dates. And I worry about that sometimes, not finishing what it is I want to get started on and what I'm working on.
I don't understand expiration dates. You mean that you're not going to be here?
Yeah, well, we all got an expiration date.
Okay,
right?
I get that.
Yeah.
So just give me an idea. How many projects do you have open, not only on paper, but in your mind?
Well, I don't know about in my mind. That's probably scary because that includes my little projects, building cars of my own and that sort of thing. Yeah. But for NASTF, I just counted them today. There's 27. There's 27 active projects going on in our IT and membership because we're launching what we call SDRM 3, which is our third release of our product. And it isn't, it's not like where we're changing the whole look and feel and all of that, but our total focus now is moving from getting all the technologies that support the automakers so that we can bring the stuff to our members to now supporting the members and getting them into those and then making it easier for them to do everything.
Damn. Tracy, how many do we have? We have a lot of projects.
I bet.
Oof. There are things that I love to do. And there are things that I absolutely hate to do, but I have to do. And I know you have a nice staff at NASTF, but what have you over the years delegated because you just don't like to do them?
Well, I don't like to do the accounting stuff. Really not my thing. I can. It's tedious. I'd rather make the money and let somebody else figure out how to mark it up and spend it and all that.
I love your word, tedious. I just never thought. That's why I hate. I'm not a tedious guy.
Yeah.
I'm a thinker. I'm a creative.
Yeah, exactly.
My hands flay. Did you notice that?
Yeah, I've noticed that about you. Yeah. I do a lot of writing, but there is so much writing at NASTF, so much content creation, and AI hasn't caught up with us quite yet, so that we can use it to help us to, remake things and reuse them. So my entire team writes, all of them. And I know because of their skills who to send a project to, and then they bring it back to the rest of the group and we all edit and tweak and all of that. So we definitely have got 4 of us that do all the writing together. And I was doing all of that myself when I first started.
So if you're the visionary, how do you get the team to develop into the strengths that they all have? Is there a secret you got?
Well, yeah. So first off, I cheat on the front end because you hire killers and you pay them well, and you don't have to do quite as much development. But we got them based upon a skill set that they possess. And the one thing that we never did when we started working with this new sort of concept, we don't have what's known as an integrator. Unfortunately, I am the integrator as well.
Oh, so you're doing dual roles?
I have to switch hats, which is hard for a visionary to do.
I know. Oh,
You're like, now I got to do the administrative stuff. Yeah. And the team is awesome at helping me with that. That's really cool. And our development lead, our architect, software architect, he really has that kind of DNA anyway. And so he helps me a lot with that stuff. But there's just times when we'll be working on a project. I'll say, I've got all these ideas. And they're like, great. Can you write that? It's like, I have to do that too?
I mean, I've got to take it from my brain to pen?
What, you don't understand me?
To keyboard?
Yeah.
Stop.
Exactly.
I can't do that.
My wife laughs at me because I walk around the house talking to my phone. Because I dictate it and then I edit it. It's just kind of the way I part of my creative process. I used to type it all and I'm pretty good at typing my ideas out where some people have to write them, but it's just not fast enough.
I do both.
Yeah.
I have a pad near every place I would ever sit at the house or lay in bed.
Well, now if you write well enough, you can scan it in and then edit it.
I have a problem.
Yeah.
I can't read my writing.
That sort of defeats the purpose.
Donnie, I wrote something last night at 2 a.m. I got to go back and get it. And I look at it and I says, blah, 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 blah. What the heck was that?
Yeah, what was I
doing? And I'm trying to say, I know that's my word for this. And I cut off the letters at the end because I'm going so fast. I says, I don't want to lose it. I just don't want to lose it.
Understood.
So I shortcut the words. Not on purpose. It just happens.
Yeah.
And I really want to go out and tell the industry to slow down a bit.
Good luck.
Well, because of the words, technician moved over to technology specialist, from mechanic to mechanical specialist, this whole shift in language. And for people, oh my God, this is great. We got to do this. And then every time you hear them talk, they're saying technician. And all I want is that extra microsecond to say the word specialist. Mm-hmm. And if we slow down and realize that this is one of the most important things you could do in the internal professionalism of our industry, but from the outside and the client looking in, to see that we are raising the language and the words that we're using to them and let them feel really good about it. I'm going to a place that's got, technology specialists. They got thermal management specialists, not air conditioning specialists anymore. But it takes a little longer to say that. And we're in such a fast go. We don't want to engage brain and mouth. And I think that's going to be important someday if we want to do things that's uncommon.
But it's also like the changing of the year and not writing the last year on your check, if you actually know how to write a check anymore. But writing dates is the same kind of thing, right? We've got this habit that we're going to write 2024, and we've got the habit of saying technician. So you have to make a conscious effort to correct your behavior.
Yeah, I know.
And what do we say? It takes about 28 times of doing it before you've got it right.
Or Carm to slap you in the head every time he hears you say that.
Well, there's that too.
Got it.
But it's a long reach from Buffalo to Denver.
The NAPA Now event is a national ownership workshop for our valued AutoCare members centered around business building training from industry leaders. Now, it's not just about owning a shop, it's about owning your future. Join NAPA April 15th through the 17th, 2025 at the Venetian Resort in the heart of Las Vegas, known for its vibrancy, energy, and entrepreneurial spirit. At the event, ignite growth through business building master classes from leaders across multiple industries focused on expanding business opportunities. Now, master class topics include future-proofing your business, mastering emerging technologies for growth, leadership dynamics, inspiring, engaging, and driving success, shifting tides, understanding evolving consumer behaviors and your bottom line, and young leaders' lasting legacies, mastering succession planning for future growth. Foster collaboration with other like-minded NAPA AutoCare members and store owners. Stop at supplier studios for training, visit AutoCare vendor partners, and finally, join us in celebrating 100 years of NAPA Auto Parts, along with kicking off the next 100 years of partnership. There will also be exclusive giveaways. There are many incentive opportunities to offset the cost of this trip, including AutoCare program earnbacks, and beginning in October, earn up to $1,500 with pre-show supplier training to prepare for the supplier studio training sessions. The NAPA Now event is a national ownership workshop for our valued AutoCare members centered around business building training from industry leaders. Now, it's not just about owning a shop, it's about owning your future. Join NAPA April 15th through the 17th, 2025 at the Venetian Resort in the heart of Las Vegas, known for its vibrancy, energy, and entrepreneurial spirit. Get ready to grow, connect, and celebrate. This is an exclusive event limited to the first 2,000 AutoCare members. Packages are going fast. If you're interested in attending, contact your servicing NAPA store or NAPA salesperson. Hey, let's face it. Your shop management system is the single most important tool in your shop, period. NAPA Trax has made selecting the right shop management system easy by offering the industry's best, most comprehensive SMS. Now, it all starts when a local representative meets with you to learn about your business and how you need to run it. After all, it's your shop, so it's your choice, and having local representation is a huge plus. Customizing Trax to your business, whether you're a one-person shop or a large multi-bay or multi-location company, a representative consults with you to help optimize your shop's workflow, efficiency, and profitability. Trax always has the flexibility to do business how you need to do it, which means it can also grow as your business grows. And unlike the other guys, we'll be there for you after installation with the best training and support in the business. Yes, a learning management system tailored to each role in your company. Simply put, Trax was designed and built for shop owners just like you. Visit us on the web at NAPA Trax, that's NAPATRACS.com. Hey, ever wonder how your labor rate compares to your market and state? You now have a site where you can confidentially upload your rate and see other labor rates published in your market. LaborRateTracker.com is an important site to know about. Currently, the database has over 1,000 shops participating and growing every day. But there's more to setting your rates than finding out what others charge. You should look at the labor rates in your state and town to gain a complete picture of the labor rate landscape. Hey, it's easy. Get market intelligence like never before at LaborRateTracker.com.
Ever make a pivot in the business?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we make pivots regularly because we throw out a concept that we feel pretty good about. And then we say, okay, members, tell us what you think. And sometimes they say things that we never got in our focus groups. No one ever said anything. And then all of a sudden there's this brilliant thing that comes out and it causes a major redesign. Fortunately, it doesn't happen all that often, but every once in a while. And when you have those, that can take you backwards a bit. So just goes with the territory, I'm afraid.
I think pivots are important. I don't think you should be afraid of pivots today. And even if you don't, people tell me if I'm right or wrong. I want to be right. So when I think about a change that I want to make, a 2.0 version of my business or a pivot, and I haven't thought it completely out, please think about what Donnie just said. Hey, team, I've got this idea. And you don't have to call it a 180. It doesn't have to be even called a pivot, but what do you all think about this? Get the buy-in from the team. And as that works and formulates and develop, you're pivoting. The net result of your ideas, your team leadership, your visionary to your integrators that are going to help pull this thing off.
Yeah.
I think we don't think enough about pivots as critical strategic initiatives in our business that we have to make change.
An idea develops more or less in a circle. If you're doing it honestly and you're doing it right, if you're just simply trying to force your idea on somebody, then that'll fail every time. But if you're taking something where, you work through your cycle that, I'm going to first map out what I think it looks like, then I'm going to show it to my team, and then they're going to beat on it. And then we're going to see what it's going to take practically to pull it off. Because with us, it's mostly there's software involved. But along that line, we get it to that point, and before we actually start programming, we put it in front of our teams. We've got these committees at NASTF, and then I've got subcommittees of really killer experts on certain things who are very vocal and will tell me what they think. Because sometimes our teams don't say anything. They're just like, you get a thumbs up on the call, and that's not good enough, right? We want to hear what can go wrong.
Wow. I'm sorry. You just knocked me over with the thumbs up.
Yeah, the thumbs up.
What does that really mean? What's a thumbs up really mean?
It means I like it. It doesn't mean I agree with it.
You're right.
Or that I think it's going to work, or that I've given it any thought whatsoever.
Okay, technology, the impact of technology on what you guys do. You're all about technology.
Yeah.
Do you see AI having a positive or influence at all?
Well, we have some very light AI in our program already. It monitors for unusual behavior. If we've got a vehicle security professional account that's doing strange things, we have some light AI that helps us to identify those and generates a report and then sends it over to the humans involved. Says, hey, this looks funny. Check this out. That's generally where we're at right now. But where I think AI is going to actually help us the most is in communicating and designing the communication pieces for all the different folks that are in our realm. We have people that speak English as a second or third, or heck, further down the line language, depending on where their origin country was. We've got folks who, they may be dyslexic. They don't want to read, because it doesn't necessarily compute. They need another way to get that input. And so we're always looking for, how do we communicate this stuff better? Because our support desk is the feedback loop.
Wow, you just hit me. So somebody takes some information from the NASTF site and they look at it. I know, by the way, I loved AI Lite. I mean, that to me is such a powerful term. I don't know what it means, but could you possibly have an AI reader
and that's
connected
exactly,
and says, please read this to me because I'm dyslexic and I want to get through this good, not bad?
Yep. And we're doing that currently with videos. They're still old school in how we approach them. We map them out, we script them, and then we record them. But we need something more responsive and faster because it's moving so fast. And we're getting a different type of member than we've ever had before because of some of the new products. And many of those members they're not technician type thinkers.
They're locksmiths.
They're not the analytical.
Okay.
They learn to do a process, and there's nothing wrong with this. I'm not trying to make this in any way negative. It's a different mind to talk to. All right. So they need you to go step 1, step 2, step 3. Tell me where I start. Tell me where I end. And then I know I'm done. And that's not how you talk to a Matt Fanslow. You just throw something out in front of him and he does it, right? You don't have to give him, as long as you've got the stuff out there, he'll digest it. He'll intake it. He'll process it. That's who we've really been focused on, because that's who I am too, right? So we've had to say, okay, so let's look at what the support desk tickets all look like. What are the kinds of questions we're getting? Now, how do we do a better job at talking to those people?
You can throw that into AI.
Well, and that's the idea, right?
And have AI come back and say, hey, we need a common denominator here. What's the biggest, hottest questions that we're getting, and or how I can solve them? I'll bet you AI comes back and just gives you more stuff than you ever thought possible.
Well, I played around with, okay, so let's say, for example, that my language that I speak natively is Chinese. What does this mean when they bring me this English? Because Chinese speakers tend to articulate English in a different way. I'm used to reading a lot of it because we work with a lot of Chinese scan tool makers. I'm used to reading that, but I also understand what they don't understand. So we started going to pictograph type pieces.
Really?
So I developed, instead of developing a PowerPoint with a lot of text in it, here's the picture. Here's the action. And this is just fundamental for right now. We're trying to figure out what tools there are out there that can, because we've just started, in the last few months trying to figure this out, because we've had so much frustration with trying to get communicated to foreign automakers how to integrate your stuff. It's very entertaining.
Ow. And including the attention span that we're all losing, it seems.
Well, yeah. Don't have much time. Can you just beam this into my head for me?
Yeah, please, just do this thing. I'll let you pour it into my ears. Good friend or peer, what would they say is the secret of your success?
What I've been told is, and this has always been my thing, so I'm glad they pick it up, you do it now. You don't say, I'm going to get back to that later. If you just do it now all day long, you don't have to get back to it later. And that has really been, to me, that's how I manage time better. Because the other thing is, it can get overwhelming if you've got too many things on your to-do list. So it's better just not to have a to-do list.
Do you prioritize?
Yeah, there's some things that, so for this week, I had to do 3 PowerPoint presentations. And 2 of them were big and 1 of them was small, but it had to be perfect. It had to hit the spot. I got 10 minutes to explain something to a senator, and then we're done. So all that had to happen. But the phone's ringing off the hook. People want help with something. I got a VSP over here who needs a letter to give to a vendor. And it's all this kind of stuff. That I can't really farm out to the support desk. It's stuff that the support desk sent to me. Those things come in, and so I just do them. I can get back to the topic that I'm at, so I'll just stop, fix this, then go back to the PowerPoints.
Donnie, we all have a job we love to do. We totally lose track of time when we're in that zone. What's your zone?
For me, it still is when I'm working on a car or, building one of my projects.
Okay.
I promise Claire I'll be home in 3 hours, and she's the same way, so it's beautiful. So it's really 5. She'll say, oh, honey, I'll be done in an hour and a half. And I'm like, okay, so I'll see you in 3. It's just the way that we are. But that is, for me, I can get, when I'm creating or working on a project like that, I can lose time. And even when I'm looking at the clock, it just runs away.
Tracy, I think that's what Mom says about me. I'm going to head back into the studio, or I'm going to go down to the office. A half hour, baby.
Yeah, give me a half hour, give me an hour. I'll be all done.
Yeah.
3 hours later. Yeah.
Oh, God. Okay. I'm back. You keep talking about you're working on your cars. What's your dream car?
Oh, it's funny. I'm not building my dream car. My favorite car of all time, right or wrong, it's a 69 Boss Mustang.
Wow.
I've always I've liked it.
Was that the first year of the
12.
Boss? Was that the first year?
It was, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, it has its little glitches, but I like it the best. I like the way it looks the best. And I've driven one, I've driven a 70, I've driven a 69. And I've worked on several of them over the years. And so that's my favorite car. However, I'm building right now a 41 Lincoln Continental Cabriolet. They built 500 of them. This one was Paramount Pictures owned it, and they had modified it so many different ways that it really was never going to be a restoration, which is okay because it was a horrible handling. I mean, just it had all kinds of mechanical problems, but they were one of the most beautiful cars ever built, in my opinion. And so I bought it for my dad because he had sold a street rod that he didn't want to use anymore. And because my mom wouldn't ride in it, basically, it was so tight. It was a 32 Ford pickup, and you had to sit straight up, and your legs were crowded, and it was not built for modern size Americans. I said, well, what would you build if you could build anything you wanted? And he said, I want a 41 Cabriolet. Well, I found one in like a week. 500 of them on the planet. Of course, there aren't 500 left, but I found one right away. So that was meant to be. We brought it home and I started making all the changes to it that he wanted. And then no one helped me. I had my dad was going to help and my brother was going to help. And I was like 300 or 400 hours into the chassis. And I'm like, I'm going on strike. This was sort of an Atlas Shrugged event here. It's like, where are you guys? I need some help. So anyway, I built the drivetrain, designed the interior, built most of the parts for the interior, built all the chassis, and did all the body, all the metal. And I'm like, okay, I'm ready. Let's get some help because I'm not going to block this monster 17-foot long car all by myself. Anyway, so I went on strike. Well, then that strike went on for a really long time because the car sat around. And shortly before my dad passed, he said, well, I guess it's going to be yours to finish now, so paint it whatever color you want.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to finish it.
How many years now?
We got it when my youngest was 5, so that means we've had it for 21 years. It's actually sitting at a friend of mine's place where he keeps his cars because I'm building all the components before I bring it back to the shop because it's so big. I don't want it to cause trouble with their day-to-day workflow.
But you have a 99 Mustang Boss, right?
No, I don't have one.
That's the one you want. That's your dream car.
That's the dream car. Okay. I don't think that's going to happen.
What was your first car ever?
It was a 71 Cougar XR7.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Mine was a 72 Camaro Rally Sport with the split bumper.
Yeah.
And I bought it brand new. Grandpa's promise if I graduated from college, he would buy me a car. He passed before I graduated from college. Grandma helped me for a little bit of the money, saved my butt off, bought this car, took it to college with me. Every time I go to a car show, I look for it.
Yeah.
You can't find the split bumpers much.
Yeah.
And so I decided to go on Google and find out for $45,000, $50,000, $60,000. Whoops.
That's the funny thing about, the values, they kind of go up, and I think a Boss right now, easily 100.
Wow.
If it's worth taking home.
Yeah. Oh, got it.
And because otherwise you're starting all over. So you can pay $80,000 to start over.
How do you make your people feel safe inside your organization?
Well, the main thing is that I empower them to do what they need to do. I really if they come to me for really simple stuff, I'm like, the answer to, what I'm going to tell you, right? So why are you asking me? Make it so. And if there is a mistake, they're all smart. Nobody makes a mistake that's, incorrectable. We're all adults. So if we make a mistake, we just say we made a mistake. Sometimes members are aware of the mistake and sometimes they're not, so it doesn't matter. But, if it isn't a human-run organization, then what is it?
Empower we've done some episodes recently on this, and it is such an important word that we as leaders in our industry need to understand. It's just not about you, and you don't have to be the answer man. And it leads me to this next question that I have for you. Is it easy to say, I don't know? Because there's a lot of people that never want to be wrong. It took me some time to realize that I had to say, I don't know, but I'll get you the answer. I always felt that I had to have an answer.
Well, I think the better answer is, I don't know, but what do you think?
Yeah.
To me, the most powerful thing you can do is, I do this all the time with my little focus groups. Like, okay, guys, I don't turn a wrench every day. So I don't know what you guys are dealing with day to day. So spill it. Tell me what we need to know to help you. So I think saying I don't know is the only way you learn. Otherwise, you're all in your own little thing and you assume stuff because you think you know everything. That is definitely not me.
Does it come with a whole ton of self-confidence to be able to say, listen, I don't know, I'll get you the answer. I don't know, what do you think? I don't know, that's a great question. Let's research this.
Yeah.
It seems to be the only way to go.
I think that even more so than self-confidence, it comes with good self-awareness.
Yeah.
Because my knowledge of day-to-day technicians' work over the last 8 years has changed because the programs have changed. And I know stuff about what they do that they don't know, but they know lots of things that are different from if I just went on how I programmed vehicles years ago, I would be wrong. Right? There's just so many nuances to it now and that are different. So I think that you also have to say, okay, so what do I know and what don't I know?
Yeah.
And where am I getting further away from it so that I know what I need to ask?
Yeah. Let me get back to you. Mm-hmm. Honest to God. Please, everyone, take this as a great lesson about the I don't know thing. I think it will make you a much better leader. And if your people realize that you're out there on the hunt for the answer too, there's empowerment, because I think they're going to end up helping you.
Yeah. Well, and, not just leaders, anybody. If you don't say, I don't know, someone might be expecting that you do, and then be disappointed when you fail.
That's a perfect answer. Thank you. One last question for you, my friend. Mm-hmm. Ever had a mentor?
Oh, I've had lots of mentors.
Tell me about the power of mentoring, Donnie.
When I first started the job at NASTF, I had seen a lot of bad association managers, but not that many good ones. And what were the good ones doing? So I went to Bill Long, who was a friend, and said, I need some help. Tell me about this. Tell me about that. And he was fantastic.
Yeah.
I went to Tim at ASE.
Sure.
And, NASTF was at ASE originally. So he knew a lot of history. And so Tim gave me all kinds of advice about the politics of things that were different from the politics of the things I dealt with. Mm-hmm. So I've had lots of those. I mean, I've had mentors at all different levels. As an instructor, Bill Haas was the one who talked me into being a teacher. And in fact, he basically just said, you're going to come and teach that thing you do on computers and getting them all to work together. And you're going to do that at cars. And I did that back in 2002. And that was the first time I ever taught. And then I get a article that I wrote on technology in a magazine for years after that. And so, that all was because I had mentors who said, yeah, you're kind of going in the right direction. Let me help you. But I also seek them out. You want to seek out people, and you'll be surprised when you seek out mentors how willing almost everybody is to help you.
So there's the secret. Seek them out. Mm-hmm. Don't expect that somebody's just going to, hey, would you like a mentor? Or somebody's going to come up and say, hey, you can teach that. And says, wow, Bill, tell me about why you think I should do that. And the mentor is going to, because I've always known that mentors are there to be there until you ask them for help. You did that. And that's how you found people that were willing to guide you. I also see that so many of our networking groups that are catapulting shop owners to new heights of success, both in leadership and in profit and retention and culture, is that they're allowing themselves to be mentored amongst a group as they find partners that work on the financial statements together. Unbeknownst to them, they're being mentored by each other.
That's right. Mentors are not necessarily somebody that is more experienced than you. It may be a peer that just has an experience that you don't have.
I don't know, Tracy, but I found out a whole lot about Donnie that I didn't know. Wow.
Well, I found out things about Carm I didn't know.
Like what? What did I say? Did I say something? I did. Oh, my God.
That 30 minutes actually means an hour.
Yeah. Actually, I think it means more than that. Yeah. And that I don't complete my words, and then I don't know what I wrote. Yeah. I know.
That you maybe need to start verbally dictating things as opposed to writing them.
Yeah, and I've got that stuff on my smartphone.
Yes.
But it seems to always be in the charger somehow. I don't know. It's never near. Anyway, enough about me. Donny Seyfer, NASTF, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, man.
Thanks for being on board to listen and learn from the premier automotive aftermarket podcast. Until next time.